Welcome to today's Practical Planning Tip by ParkBridge Wealth Management. My name is Jonathan Shankman. I'm the President and Chief Investment Officer of the firm. Today, I'd like to conclude our series on the topic of retirement and falling interest rates. And I'd like to end by zooming out a bit to emphasize staying focused on what matters. To avoid common missteps in a falling rate environment, I encourage my clients to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Instead of focusing on the Federal Reserve or what your brother-in-law is saying, investors should instead focus on the factors that should always determine their portfolio allocation. This includes one's time horizon, risk tolerance, and their goals. For example, if you need the funds within a few years to retire, then using savings account, money market fund, or short-term CDs will always make sense regardless of the drop in yields. Investors should not risk the money they need for near-term expenses to get a higher yield. For investors approaching retirement specifically, having some money in cash equivalents and high quality bonds for a couple of years worth of expenses makes sense. However, it also makes sense to have exposure to stocks to grow your portfolio over time to combat inflation and help ensure that you don't outlive your funds. Where rates are and whether they will drop further are immaterial to this reality. Staying focused on yourself and your goals instead of the latest headlines and what others are doing is always the best approach when it comes to one's finances. And with that, I hope you found this practical planning tip helpful. Until next time, stay prudent, practical, and don't forget to plan ahead.